Let's go to Carlton now. Tomorrow night, the review will be tabled to the Carlton board. And my understanding is that when it hits the table, it'll be board discussions. There'll be no announcements tomorrow night. But there are a few things going on, and clearly David Teague's position is the main thing. It's always about the coaches and a carrow in a story like this. A lot of speculation when Collingwood did its review that Nathan would get the chop, and he didn't, and played in the grand final the next year. Sadly, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think there will be big changes at Carlton, and David Teague will finish up in the next 2 weeks. You don't even know about this, but there have been people that have been reached out to in the coaching fraternity, and you will get a phone call.
OK,
so Ed, you're saying...
I find it, yeah, no, you go.
I was going to say, so people have been reached out to, despite Mark Lejudice.
Well, he may not be the people doing the reaching out to.
Yeah.
You know, football clubs like people do
But that's
things.
where it's a bit of an issue.
It has to be Alistair Clarkson.
Well, no, we don't know if they have, because Ross hasn't had a call. And I will...
Have you, Ross? There's a bit of a smoke.
You said you hadn't had a call.
Well, because it all comes to me. I've been a media performer for a long time now, so... But,
settle down. I don't think Alistair Clarkson's been contacted.
But my point is, it's not about... Let the review run its course.
Yeah.
This review is about the whole football department. Let's get back to why we're talking about it, because Carlton sold the expectations through the roof on the transition of Bolton. The CEO did, and that's fair enough. They didn't run a process.
They
didn't run a process. That's OK, but that comes home to haunt you now. What you do at the front end haunts you at the back end. So that's haunting them a bit now. They sold it through the roof. If there's no expectation on Carlton, that'd be fine. We wouldn't be having a review. But clearly the expectations within and from without that club are really high, and they haven't delivered on them. So, and David Teague spoke about attack. He hasn't been able to deliver like Rutten has. So he's under pressure.
Have you been spoken to by Carlton?
No.
If they rang you, would you take their call?
I've been through this before. There's no position at Carlton. David Teague's the coach, Brad Lloyd's the footy manager, and Kane Liddell's the CEO. So there's a Collingwood position around, and if you ask me about that, but Carlton, I just find it's a really tough situation. But it was put on the table. They've got to work their way through it. It is messy. No one likes it. I feel for David Teague and his family, because I'm not quite to this level, but I've been in a tough spot. All the coaches in a tough spot. It's a really difficult time, and I feel we're feasting on him before he's...
And that's where I think it is. Yeah,
The club's created that, Ross.
But that's where I think it is messy, Ross, because I reckon what good clubs do is... I know the Swans have done a review recently, and no one even knows about it. But Carlton...
That's because they're winning.
No, but they weren't last. They finished bottom 5 last year. So I'm just saying...
Review every year.
Yeah, that's right. Review every year. But this has been so public.
With
round 10, Ed. Round 10... Yeah. It's so public,
but
and by round 21, tomorrow night we're going to announce. Will it hold? Will this hold by Saturday?
What hold? You know
the decision.
How do we know the review's not going to come back? He's doing a super job, but let's fix the condition.
Because nobody thinks.
But guys, with that, I mean, Sydney are out of sight, out of mind on a lot of things. This is Carlton. They haven't been anything for 20 odd years now. They've got board ructions, they've got a new president coming in, they've got another group on the outside having a go. They have to tell the Carlton supporters that something's going on, right? And they are doing the review. They were open that they're doing a review.
It was everyone's having it, and you said the story on this show. Luke Sayers went up to Sydney. They had a terrible loss to Sydney, and this review was brought forward, and the coach wasn't involved, and then he was involved. I mean, Matthew does make a point. It has dragged on for a long time. It's been pretty hurtful to a lot of people.
Do you think a review should be happening? Do you think they've underperformed by a long way, or do you think they're on the mark?
I just reckon that at round... Are they on the mark? Hey, Ed, Ross, at round 10, when Jeff Walsh starts walking through your footy club...
That wasn't the question I asked. Do you think
they should review themselves? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they're a long way off performance-wise?
Not a long way off.
But this is
do you think what they put on the table, they're a long way off?
Well, they were half a game off the finals, right, a week ago, Ross.
There's 6 mediocre teams that can't get above 50% win-loss. I think if we hang our hat on that, we're in trouble.
What I'm saying, Ross, is at round 10, when Jeff Walsh is walking through every few weeks and interviewing players,
I would hate it.
Staff, it doesn't give you the best chance to perform.
You're right. Yeah, 100%.
And we've got Mark Murphy about to play a milestone game, and this is going to probably overshadow that.
It doesn't make any difference, but...
yeah, I think it does if the story breaks at the coach's going. Breaks at the coach's going.
I'm just saying, though, that the situation is... there's no deadline on this. The media get deadlines because you've got to come up with a story. And we want everything to break on a Wednesday because we're on. It doesn't make any difference.
Have there been any reviews instigated before the end of the season? Did it happen at Richmond, Melbourne or Collingwood?
Yeah, well, it started a bit later and certainly wasn't so public.